Hey. All right, so we've got Rossi here. She's really excited. I see what you mean about the barking. So just to talk about that a little bit to start off. In general, I actually find that teaching dogs shush can backfire because normally what dogs want when they're barking is some sort of attention, or they want to go outside, or they want something specific from you. So in general, I'm going to do some instant choice just to keep her busy while I talk. In general, I find that it's actually best, especially when barking is not yet a habit, to just totally ignore it. So what that means is if she barks at you guys, whatever it is that she's excited about, don't do it until she's quiet. And if she really gets really riled up and won't stop barking, then I would just calmly, quietly put her in her crate or calmly, quietly leave the room. Any sort of like, no, quiet, shush sort of stuff, a lot of times is actually giving her kind of what she wants, which is attention. So in general, that's what I find. And I've spoken to a ton of dog trainers, and I'm actually yet to meet someone who's really, truly successfully taught a dog shush on cue. You can a lot of times ask them for other things to do instead. So that kind of comes with what we were talking about a little bit with the sit to say please sort of stuff. So if she knows that she just has to sit in order to get what she wants, that will help her not feel like she needs to bark. And then on some level, barking is also just kind of a normal thing. But I see what you mean. She kind of barked at me the whole way down the stairs. So what we did is anytime she barked, I just kind of turned away from her and we stopped moving towards the door. As soon as she was quiet, we started moving towards the door again. So that's what I would in general recommend. I can tell you guys have been practicing with touch. We did a couple touches outside. And she's really doing really well with that. So we're just going to do a couple of those to warm her up. We'll do some mat training. And with the mat training, we are going to start going ahead and practicing on staying in place during things more like a door grating to start practicing being calm with people coming in to the door. Yeah, you guys can. I can tell you guys have been doing a lot. She's really slamming her nose into my hand. She's doing great. So, have you? I keep forgetting this isn't Skype. One of the other things that I think we mentioned that you guys can do that I'm not sure whether or not you guys have been doing so far is to be doing this touch in a bunch of different places and kind of back and forth between the two of you guys. If you guys also want to do some practice with come when called and just getting that started, you guys can kind of do the same thing where you're saying like, Rossi, come. Yeah, good girl. Make it really easy at first. So, I mean, like, you guys are on opposite ends of the living room, if that. Give a bunch of cookies. And then you guys can start building up to being, maybe in a different room. And then, Rosie! Maybe behind a piece of furniture. And then, eventually, maybe upstairs under, behind the bed or something. And just start kind of playing with come when called as a hide-and-go-seek game in the house. To start getting her really rock solid on come, and so that she's learning to not just rely on looking at you for the cue with come when called. Does that make sense? Cool. So yeah, as I said, you can really tell that she's been practicing with the touch, so that's really great. We originally were going to do some leash work today as well, but I'm not seeing where the leash is, so we'll just put that off for next time. And I might skip ahead to whatever is supposed to be for week 3. And the leash work realistically is going to be easier to do as she gets older and is able to actually go for walks. She likes the earlobes. I think I have the same dish mat she got up, so I'm going to pick that up. I'm also going to just move you guys a little bit so you can actually see her in the mat. I'll just put her mat a little further back too so we can actually see it. So she's clearly been practicing this a little bit. Hi. What's up? Rossi, come here. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Doing well. I'm the dog trainer.
Dog trainer?
Yeah.
Not the walker, but the trainer?
Trainer, yeah. What are you doing?
Jack, while you're training up for the morning.
Yeah, that's alright. What? Airbnb guest just came back, so we're just going to refocus her a little bit. She actually did pretty well. She could hear the beeping on the door, and she stayed on until the door actually opened, which is great. But I wouldn't expect her to stay when someone actually is coming into the house just yet. But as I think I was trying to say, I can tell you guys have been practicing this. She's doing pretty well with me kind of walking around a little bit, playing around with some different stuff. So what I was going to start working on today was stuff like rewarding her for staying when people are knocking. And obviously right now she can see that I'm doing that and that it's not someone at the door, but that's okay because we're just kind of desensitizing her to that. And as I think we talked about a little bit last time, we don't want to make mat training always harder and harder. So I'm not going to just keep knocking and then like keep making it harder and harder. I'm going to, kneel back down, make it really easy again. And just at times we want this to be really, really easy. And then at times we're going to make it a little harder and we're just going to gradually make it harder. Because we don't want her to always be really frustrated when she's doing this. And so I'm going to play around with actually seeing if I can exit the room a little bit. Oops. Too much, too hard. So we'll just pick up the mat. Ignore her for a second. She's very good. She's actually doing a great job of not acting really frustrated by this, which is awesome because this is a pretty frustrating thing to have happen to her. All right, you ready? Lie down. Good job. Mat training always looks super silly. So because she got up when I was just about to turn the corner around your circle, I'm just going to slowly build up towards that, but I'm not going to go quite so far. And again, all we're doing is generalizing and helping her learn that no matter what happens, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, you stay on the mat. I was just practicing this with my own dog yesterday, and I actually tried for the first time full-on sprinting away from him, and he stayed on the mat, which was pretty cool. So we're practicing outside, and we're doing a silly thing. So there's the barking, and all I'm going to do is just totally ignore that, and as soon as she does something else, good girl. We'll give her what she wants, we'll just have that mat back. But I'm not gonna respond to that barking at all because barking doesn't work. Barking is not how to get what you want from me. All right, looks like she's a little fried. We're gonna go outside for a second. So, see you in a minute.